Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Pussy, please. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Pussy, please. Come on now, who do you think you are? Ha ha ha, bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Ever since I was little, it looked like fun. And there's no coincidence I've gone. And I can die when I'm done. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. But baby, I'm crazy. Baby, you're crazy. Baby, we're crazy. Probably. But baby, I'm crazy. Baby, you're crazy. Baby, we're crazy. I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. You know I'm down for whatever tonight. I don't need the finer things in life. No matter where I go, it's a good time. Yeah. And I don't need to sit in VIP. Middle of the floor, that's where I'll be. Don't got a lot, but that's enough for me. Yeah. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. So I just let it go, let it go. Oh na 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 na, no I don't care no more, care no more. Oh na 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 na, so come on, let me know, let me know. Put your hands up, na na na. No baby, nothing's gonna stop us tonight. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. What will become of me? Don't like reality. It's way too clear to me, but really, life is dandy. We are what we don't see. Miss everything, daydreaming. Flames to dust, lovers to friends. Why do hope this come to an end? Flames to dust, lovers to friends. Why do hope this come to an end? Come to an end, come to an end. Why do hope this come to an end? Come to an end, come to an end. Why do hope this come to an end? Why do all this come to an end? Come to an end, come to an end. Why do all this come to an end? Flames to dust, lovers to friends. Why do hope this come to an end? Flames to dust, lovers to friends. Why do hope this come to an end? Can tell by the way she walks that she's my girl. You can tell by the way she talks, she rules the world. You can see in her eyes that no one is hurting. She's my girl, my super girl. And then she'd say, it's okay, I got lost on the way, but I'm a supergirl. And supergirls don't cry. And then she'd say, it's alright, I got home late last night, but I'm a supergirl. And supergirls just fly. And then she said that nothing can go wrong when you're in love. What can go wrong? Then she'd laugh, the night turned into day, pushing her fear further along. And then she'd say, it's okay, I got lost on the way, but I'm a supergirl. And supergirls don't cry. And then she said, it's alright, I got home late last night, but I'm a supergirl. And supergirls just fly. But I'm a supergirl. A supergirl. She's all rest your head, close your eyes, you are right. Just lay down, turn my side. Do you feel my heat on your skin? Take off your clothes, blow out the fire. Don't be so shy, you're right, you're right. Take off my clothes, oh bless me Father. Don't ask me why, you're right, you're right. Hold my stay, I've been coming. Can you feel my heat in your hands? And I'm laying down by your side. I taste the sweet of your skin. Take off your clothes, blow out the fire. Don't be so shy, you're right, you're right. Take off my clothes, oh bless me Father. Don't ask me why, you're right, you're right. And my heart just racing much faster. I drown myself in your holy water, and both my eyes just got so much brighter. And I so got, oh yeah, so much closer. In the dark, I see your smile. Do you feel my heat on my skin? Take off your clothes, blow out the fire. Don't be so shy, you're right, you're right. Take off my clothes, oh bless me Father. Don't ask me why, you're right, you're right. Don't ask me why, don't ask me why, don't ask me why, you're right, you're right. And my heart just racing much faster. I drown myself in your holy water, and both my eyes just got so much brighter. And I so got, oh yeah, so much closer. Take off your clothes, blow out the fire. Don't be so shy, you're right, you're right. Take off my clothes, oh bless me Father. Don't ask me why, you're right, you're right. You're the night, you're the color of my blood.
Okay.
You're the cure,
All
you're
right,
the
people,
pain.
we're gonna
You're
give
the
people a couple of more minutes, and then we're gonna jump into this thing. So, a couple of more minutes. Enjoy this last song, and then we'll get started.
the only thing I wanna touch. Never knew that it could mean so much, so much. You're the fear, I don't care, 'cause I've never been so high. Follow me through the dark, let me take you past our satellites. You can see the world you brought to life, to life. So love me like you do, la la, love me like you do. Love me like you do, la la, love me like you do. Touch me like you do, touch me like you do. What are you waiting
get started. All right, my good people. Why y'all can't see me? Y'all can see me? All right.
Yes.
What's going on, good people? Welcome to our training, our first training as we introduce and go into the month of February. We got some great people here in office with us that are going to participate with the training, and then obviously my beautiful people that are on video. And y'all hear me say this a lot. I would love to see you all's beautiful faces. If you ever do presentations and things on Zoom, what I can tell you is that when we can see you, it really contributes to the energy and the experience from a presentation standpoint. So we ain't gonna make you do nothing because we're all adults, but I would like to encourage you, if you would turn your cameras on, because it really adds to the experience. So for those, this may be the first time that you are participating with A Broker's Word. This is something that we do every month. We've laid out every month we have a theme. Kudos to LaShavia. She did a bang up job as far as determining what our themes were going to be for our first and second seasons. So this is what the Broker's Word is. It's me coming on, and I pretty much launch the programming for the month. And then I'll do a training that really speaks to what we've determined is going to be our focus and our intention for this month. So for the month of February, we are going to be discussing unlocking open house success. So this month is really going to be geared towards, and we're going to be very intentional about open houses. All right. So now before I jump into it, I'm not going to be naive enough to believe that there may not be some people on here that may not know me. We do invite not just Brooks and Davis agents, but we invite all age members of our World Changers community. They get these invites. Our real estate student affiliate members, they get these invites. So there may very well be someone that's on here that doesn't know who I am. So I am Michael G. Davis, aka at CEO Coach Mike. I am a board certified master practitioner of success coaching, neuro-linguistics programming, time techniques, and emotional freedom techniques, and hypnotherapy. Right. I'm the broker and CEO and co-founder of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. And under my leadership, along with my partner, Larry W. Brooks, we've grown our firm from 2 individuals, just me and him, to now we have over 150 people that are part of our organization when you look at our licensed agents, as well as our student affiliates and members of our World Changers community. So super proud of that. We also just celebrated 17 years and being able to be in business for the amount of time that we've had. It hasn't always been great. We've had our challenges, but we're still here. And we're super proud of that. Again, just very thankful for the work that the leadership team is doing. LaShavia, Margaret, as she works on the leadership team as well. Ms. Jackie, Jess, as we all kind of come together, and which allows me to have the platform to do what I'm doing for you all here today. The chat is open, so we are going to be monitoring the chat. So if you have questions, you can do that. You can also, I don't have a problem with you unmuting yourself and stopping me in my tracks if it's something that's really that you really want to gain some insight and that you want to know more about. Oh, I missed a couple of things. All right. Also, this year, I'm also the sitting president of the Houston Black Real Estate Association, as well as I'm the co-chair of the Governmental Affairs Advisory Group of the Houston Association of Realtors, as well as a board member for Texas Realtors, and I'm a board member for the National Association of Realtors. Now, why did I say all of that? Because this year is the year of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm being on a big stage, right? Me being in those rooms, just like this Monday, if you were able to catch Member Focus Monday on HAR, where they interviewed me because I was the president of HBREA, every time I get an opportunity to go before people, I'm going to be looking at that as an opportunity to expose our brokerage firm and be a great representation of the wonderful things that we're doing here at Brooks and Davis. And then that is what we're going to be doing. Okay. Thank you, Wes, for letting me know that we're recording. I'm just joking. All right. So that's a little bit about me. All right. So why is it important, or why should you believe some of the things that I'm going to share with you today? Like I said, I've been in real estate for over 20 years. I participated in multiple thousands of real estate transactions, and over $200 million worth of real estate sales volume, and counting. So we're still pushing that up. Over a 3-year period, this last 3 year, matter of fact, and even currently, because I'm actually in a leadership training right now, where when it's all said and done, I probably would have maybe done about 60 hours of coursework over a 4-month period. But I've invested thousands of dollars, as well as 232 plus hours of, so now we're getting close to 300 hours of training as a business life coach, business person. And if you think about these numbers from a university standpoint, to get a doctorate degree they usually require around 300 credit hours. So, this isn't something that I'm just, pulling out of the sky. I have had formalized training on top of the experiences that I've had over the last 20 years. And I just have a heart to want to share with you all today, to put you in a position where you can ultimately close more real estate transactions, because that's what it's about. All right, at the end of the day, my career is about helping people get what they want, get a great quality of life, find the freedom and flexibility, and put them in a position to pursue what makes them happy. All right, so we're going to be talking about open houses today, and open house success, and how we unlock that. Why is that important? It's important because, and it's a statistic that I consistently share, and I'm going to continue to share this statistic. 87% of real estate agents will fail within the first 5 years. Right. And I have people that are, they've been agents for some time. They've, practiced, maybe they practice in multiple locations. So not just here in Texas. I have individuals that just recently got their license. Maybe they've been licensed for a year or less. I have individuals that are in the process of, getting their license, right? They have to, they have the exam scheduled and they're about to take it. So we have everything in between. Well, even with all of that, like you bring all that together, and the statistics are still true. Within the first 5 years, 87% of agents will fail, right? And that's a crazy number. So that's why things like what we do at Brooks and Davis, and the education and our commitment to coaching is key, mentorship being foundational, us challenging you to commit. Like, the reason that we're that built into those elements is because we understand that it's hard, right? Real estate is difficult. We're talking about only 13% of agents have a tremendous amount of success. For every 9, one makes it. So I don't believe that real estate professionals really understand the gravity of that statement, that 90%, close to 90% don't make it. So what's going to make you the one? Like, what's going to make you the 1%? What's going to make you operate in that top tier at that 13%? Well, a big component of it is knowledge currency. Y'all know I talk about my currency, creative ideas, right? Because to create and innovate is the answer. This is where you get that knowledge currency, and where you put yourself in a position where you can come up with ideas that you can then go in and implement and execute to put you in a greater space. So with that being said, look, I hope you got your pen and pad out, take some notes. You really need to capture this information that I'm going to be giving you. I gave the accolades, I gave the credentials, I gave the year, and I gave my heart. So I'm right now, for the next hour or so, I'm going to pour into you guys a lot when it comes to open houses. So what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about today? All right. After this class, you're going to be able to walk away with valuable knowledge and techniques that you can utilize to ensure that you are a part of the 13%. My goal as your broker is to get you into the top 13%, right? We talk about the goals that I've laid on every single one of you all, which is to get to that 10 transactions, Well, the reason that I set that bar is because studies show that less than 12% of agents ever do 10 or more transactions a year. So me saying, and whether you're a Brooks and Davis signature agent, whether you're a development agent, whether you're on a team, whether you're a transaction fee agent, to me, it doesn't matter. My goal is at least 10 transactions to get you into that 12%, right? And to put you into that 13% that makes it, because we know we lose 87. All right. So that's what the goal is. We're going to revisit our real estate professional success formula, as well as I'm going to introduce you a new concept that I've been pushing out there with our one-on-one coaching and our group coaching. And it's our 7 phases to get to a closed transaction. So we're going to talk through that as well. And we're going to show where the open house piece fits as it relates to that. We're also going to learn how to master the art of open houses, right? That's where we're going to dive into more of the nuts and bolts of what we have in-house that you have access to as a Brooks and Davis agent that you may have not known. I'm going to reveal those things. We'll make sure you get access to everything so you can take advantage of those tools and resources that are in our cloud. So you'll be able to learn how to turn open houses into client converting powerhouses. I challenge Brooks and Davis signature all the time for them to understand the true result that we're looking for with open houses. So I'm going to go into more detail when we get there. So you'll know when you do an open house, what is the main thing, right? So we got to keep the main thing the main thing. All right. Finally, we'll visit our February trainings, lunch presentations, and business development opportunities that we have laid out for the month. And then I'll remind you of some outstanding benefits and features that you have by being a part of our community. So with that being said, everybody ready? How's everybody feeling? Y'all come off mute. Tell me how you're feeling. One of the things that I do in the leadership meeting that I do once a week is that I ask my people to give me a number of how they're feeling, right? So what's your mood, right? Are you at a 1 and you need a little uplifting, or are you at a 100 because world is just kind of working? Where are you? So I want to know where you are. I'm at 100. Where are you at? Y'all come off of mute. My people that's in person, what number are you at right now as far as energy level and excitement? Where we at? Am I muted? Am I muted?
I think Delora wrote something.
Delora said 50%. So that's like a 5. She had a 5. She all right.
7.
So Delora, my 100 is on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm 100 on a scale of 1 to 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where you at? Who said something? Deshae, did you say something? Margaret, where you at, Margaret?
Yes, I said 7. 7. So 7%.
All right, Delora. All right, Deshae 7, Delora 7, Margaret. All right, look. We it's all good, right? It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, look, West say he on a 10. Let's go. All right. So look, put your seatbelts on. Let's jump into this content. Make sure you have your notes in your pad out. Take some great notes so you can come back to these and begin to implement them into your business. All right. So let's start by me asking a question. I'm going to ask a question to you guys. What ultimately, right? And Margaret, because Margaret's been with us for a while, so she's heard this question. So be patient, Margaret. Don't hop in there and answer it too quick. I'm on mute, Sean.
She on you. She trying to say something.
Oh, all right, Margaret. Be patient. Don't hop in here because I know you know the answer to it. But what ultimately must happen for you to make any money in real estate? Y'all throw some things out there to tell me what ultimately must happen for you to make money in real estate. I get my slide up. What ultimately, when I pose that question, and when you think about it, what must happen ultimately for you to make money in real estate? Just throw some stuff out there. There are no dumb answers. Say it again. It's true. You got to get clients. All right. So Tasia says that you have to get clients. All right. Wesley says you must be licensed. All right. What ultimately must happen? Right. I mean, if you can only answer one question, like you can only answer one word, one answer, what will be your answer? Like, this is it. This is the silver bullet. This is the secret sauce. What ultimately must happen for you to make money in real estate? Unmute yourself, Shay. They can't hear you.
Transaction.
Who said it? What'd you say? Say it to the people, Shay. Cultivate relationships, close business. There we go, Shay. All right. Absolutely. Right. You know, when we think of this business, there's a lot of moving pieces and there's a lot of things that can happen to distract you and to get you confused and to throw you off track. Well, whenever you need to get recentered, especially when it comes to your activity, you got to ask yourself, how does what I'm about to do get me closer to what ultimately must happen for me to make money? And that's closing a transaction, right? You know, one of the things that I've been talking to the signature team about lately is urgency. And when we get into the 7 phases, we'll talk about how urgency applies. But ultimately, the faster that you get the transaction closed, the faster that you begin to make money. So even when we talk about open houses, you got to ask yourself, what part does open houses play to me ultimately getting to a transaction, right? One of the biggest mindsets that I really have to work to get people out of is that mindset of finding comfort and value and validation in being busy, right? It's not the results that you get from whatever you're doing. It's just the fact that you was doing something. The fact that you was active, right? That's a big mindset that I have to work with a lot of people on, because you're no longer in that situation. See, like if you were working in corporate America, or if you were working for a job, you were an employee, then yes, you being there, you being busy, you being active does contribute to you getting paid, right? Because ultimately what you're doing is you're selling your time to that employer. You're selling your time to that employer. Well, when you transition into real estate and then real estate becomes a career, you are no longer getting paid for your time. How many of us knew that? Like, how many of us have embraced that and accepted that, or even considered that when we got into this business, that we are no longer getting paid for our time? When we work for somebody, we work a job, we get paid for our time. When you get into this business, you do not get paid for your time. Who wants to tell me, well, what do you get paid for? Coach Mike, if I'm not getting paid for my time in real estate, well, what am I getting paid for? Who wants to tell me? Who wants to tell me what I'm getting paid for? What do you get paid for as a real estate professional? Transactions, right? I call it results, right? Results. You get paid for results. You know who else gets paid for results? Entrepreneurs. And guess what? That's what you are. When you decide that you're going to get into real estate, you're going to become a real estate professional and you're going to help people transition and guide them through this process, whether it's getting their first apartment or buying all the way up to buying a commercial building and everything in between. When you make that decision that you're going to do that, you have said, I am now an entrepreneur. And by you saying that, you have also said, I no longer am selling my time, I'm selling results, right? And that's why you got to make sure when it comes to these currencies that we talk about, that you have enough currencies to be valuable enough for people to pay you. It's all about the results. So that's what ultimately must happen, is you got to get the results, right? So again, when we jump into this open house piece, it ain't just having it. It ain't just saying I did an open house and I went and I sat in this house for 4 hours and then I left and that's the end of it. And then you pat yourself on the back because you took 4 hours out of your Saturday and sat in a house, right? People came, people didn't come. Even if you had a full house, it doesn't really matter if you don't fully understand what are the results you're looking to achieve by having the open house. And there really isn't only, if it's not your listing, there's only one result. If it's your listing, okay, you may have two results. But from my time being with open houses, it really kind of still leans on that main big result. All right. And I'm definitely gonna share that with you. All right, but this is what ultimately must happen for you to make money. It's all about the transactions. It's all about the transaction. All right. I like to show this slide. It's our real estate success formula, something that we came up in the past. And it really coincides with the 7 phases. So really like the 7 phases is like the 2.0 version of the real estate professional success formula. And and ultimately with the real estate success formula, we just broke it into 6 areas just to get a clear picture of the path that a person goes through, whether you call it a business prospect or a lead, but just the path that we have to guide people through ultimately for us to get paid, right? They have to be attracted, right? Then you have to qualify them, you got to vet them, then you got to convert them, then you serve them, then you transact, then you close them, then you get paid, right? And then we have a few bullets under each one of these bubbles that really speaks into more detail when it comes to these areas. I show this to you because I want you to understand what we do. There is a very simple formula, okay? So whether you subscribe to this formula or whether you subscribe to the 7 phases, the common theme across both of those concepts is that it's simple, right? Now, here's the thing about simple stuff. It ain't always easy. And what I can tell you is this business is not easy. Even though it's a simple formula, it's not easy to execute. An illustration I'll give you is it's a simple formula to lose weight, right? Burn more calories than you bring in. How much simpler can you get? Burn more calories than you bring in. How many of us know that it ain't easy though to execute that for those of us that are currently on that journey? It ain't easy, but it's a simple formula. It's the same thing here with real estate, right? And here's the crazy thing. This really is what driving a lot of people getting into our business is because on the outside, it looks easy, right? It looks easy. When people are looking, like when that couple sits next to you and they see that closing disclosure and they see the commission and they see how much you made, then in their mind, like, oh man, that was easy. I should get my real estate license, right? So it looks easy on the outside, and that's what brings people in. And then people get in and they realize how not easy, how on the complete opposite spectrum this business is than it is to easy. And I think some of that is probably contributing to why the 87% of people aren't making it, because it ended up not being as easy as they thought it was going to be, right? So that's our success formula. But let me show you this. Right? Here's something else that I want to show you. Like I said, it's a newer concept. Where did it go? Come on. Yeah, where did it go? I'll just slid you over here, bro. Hold on, yeah. Let's see with my mojo. What are you doing? No. How's it doing there? Technology is great when it's working. Won't let me bring it up. That's crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. Okay. Let's do a workaround. I ain't never seen nothing like that happen in my life. All right, Zoom, that's cool. That's cool, Zoom. All right,
get y'all back up.
Kick you out.
No, it wouldn't pull the presentation up, even though it showed that the document was still on my computer. It's just hating. It's just hating for no reason. All right, so I call these the 7 phases to close a transaction. Pushing the wrong button. All right. So these 7 phases kind of go in with my background in chemical engineering. So some of y'all may not know, my degree's in chemical engineering. I went to Prairie View. And I was a chemical engineer for about a year. I was in corporate America. I was a production engineer. So that's why I love a spreadsheet. I love a good spreadsheet. Okay. I can absolutely overcomplicate things. Okay. And I can definitely overthink something. So that's okay. I understand myself. Well, every now and again, you got to go back to your roots. So when I was really sitting and processing through things and processing through the flow of working with a client or doing this business, I really needed something that was simple that I could help coach and train against, right? So the 7 phases, the success formula, those have been my attempts to create a very simple metric and model that I can utilize to explain things. All right. So here are the 7 phases to get you to a closed transaction. The first phase is mining, right? Okay, and these are terms that I used in the chemical industry. That's why I was bringing that up. In the oil industry, these are terms that we use, right? When we, as a chemical engineer, we create chemical plants, right? And in a chemical plant, all it really is a series of systems where the material is going through the system on one end, and out the other end, they're creating a product. And they sell that, all that company sells that product, whether it's gasoline, whether it's plastics, whether it's jet fuel. There's and y'all know that there's thousands of products that are oil based, right? So out the other end of that chemical plant, there's a product. Something goes in, something comes out. All right. So the first thing that has to happen is that you have to mine. Before you can even send anything into the chemical plant, you got to go find the raw material, right? So in real estate, the first phase for us is finding the raw material, right? I call that the mining phase. The terms that we use, lead generation, prospecting, right? Attracting business. That's the mining phase. And just like in oil and gas, these big oil companies like your Exxon or your Phillips, they pay big bucks to look for the next best, or they spend big bucks to look for where's the next pool of gas or the next pool reservoir. They call them reservoirs. Where's the next reservoir of gas? Where's the next reservoir of oil? So they can ultimately go and drill. And they spend millions, if not billions of dollars on identifying the best locations to find their raw material. So with real estate, ultimately what I'm saying is you have to get into the mindset of there needs to be limitless effort in mining. There needs to be limitless effort, no ceiling, however much it takes, doing as much as you can when it comes to lead generation, when it comes to attracting business. Because that's the mining phase. That's the first phase, right? And if you haven't figured it out already, open house, that's the first phase, right? Open house is a strategy. It's a method to mine, right? And that's why it's important that you understand why you're doing it, because the whole point of the mining phase is to attract leads. That's the only point. The only point that people that oil companies drill is to get oil. They ain't got no other reason. The only reason they drill is to get gas or gas equivalent. One of those two things. The only reason that we mine is to get leads. It ain't one of those two things. And we want to put ourselves in the best position to get as much of it as you can. And open houses, that's a mining source. Okay. All right. The next one is entry. You know, illustration that I use with my team is that I can do all the mining in the world. You know, the way that oil companies get
the material, the raw material from the drill site to the chemical plant is they use a pipeline. Okay, or they'll use tankers. Sometimes they'll use airplanes. Sometimes they use ships. But there is a process to get the material from one place to the actual unit. All right. Now, imagine that there's a hole in the pipeline. Imagine that there's a hole in the tanker and it's dripping out. Well, remember, these companies are going to use that raw material. They're going to send it through their process. It's going to turn into a product that they can sell. So that raw material directly goes into their bottom line. Like they're using this to make money, to drive revenue, right? And if there's a hole in the method that they're utilizing to get it from one place to the next, they're literally losing money when they lose the raw material. It's the same thing in real estate. I see agents all the time. They'll get a lead, put it on a sticky note. Now they can't find it no more. Or they make that initial phone call. The person's not necessarily available to talk. They say, hey, call me back in a couple of days or call me back next week. And you forget. So you don't call them. And then you ain't put them nowhere. So you never capture the information in a place to where you can consistently nurture and follow up with them. So now you look up 30 days and you forgot. 60 days, 90 days, you see on Facebook, they didn't close on their house, right? It's because you didn't have the entry part taken care of. You lost the lead, you lost the material, right? So the entry part is key. What does that mean? For many of you, it's the lead tracker, right? We have a tool that we coach, Lead Tracker. All of your leads, go to your lead tracker. And that's a habit that I'm intentionally building within Brooks and Davis Signature. We need to build it brokerage wide. The habit of, as soon as you get a lead, you add it to your lead tracker immediately, right? Not on a sticky note, not in a book, not in your phone, right? Now, I get it. Sometimes you're not in a position to add it to your lead tracker. You still need to have that sense of urgency to, all right, I'm just going to put it here for right now. But as soon as I get in a position to add it to my lead tracker, it's going on my lead tracker. All the information, name, phone number, everything. Even if you haven't talked to them, even if you haven't been able to get them on the phone, they got to go to your lead tracker. Because your lead tracker is going to be in critical when we get to the next phase of it, right? So it's got to go on your lead tracker, right? Then now that it's on your lead tracker, some of us, we use CRMs, right? I know that's a big thing. People want to get into the business. First thing they want to do is go out and get a CRM and get all confused. And it's all complex, too complicated to where they can't execute on it. Keep it simple, man. The lead tracker is a spreadsheet. That's all it really is. Put them on a spreadsheet. All you really need is a centralized source so you can build that habit of lead, centralized source. Lead, centralized source. And you ain't even got to think about it. It's second nature. Yeah, at some point you're going to graduate to the CRM because it has a lot of good bells and whistles that we want to utilize in the next phase, the next couple of phases, really. But before we go there, let's make sure we built that habit and that it sticks. All right. So the entry phase is critical. The entry phase is getting them on the lead tracker, getting them into the CRM. So now you can, number 3, engage them. Right. Because if you can't find a sticky note, you can't find a number or the email, and you don't have any reminders in place that triggers you to follow up with them, guess what's not going to happen? You ain't going to follow up. Okay. So that's why the entry part is important. The third part is in the engagement piece. All right. We're in the relationship business. We say that, I know, and you know, when I say that word, y'all are like, no, duh. But think about it. If I was trying to, you know, my wife, I think about my wife. I didn't walk up to my wife one day and say, marry me. Like the very first day I met her, the very first time I met her, and I got on a knee and said, marry me. I didn't do that. And I'm sure if I'd have did that, she wouldn't have been with that. She wouldn't have been for that. We had to have a relationship, right? So this is the business we're in. People are not going to use you because you asked them the first time. And whether you asked them in person, whether you asked them online, whether they were referred to you and you asked them, whether they came into your open house. People are not going to use you the very first time y'all engage. So there has to be a relationship. And what comes with the relationship? You got to nurture. You got to show that you care. You got to show that you're competent, right? You got to give them a reason and a desire to want to be with you, to do business with you. And so it's the same thing. So we're in the relationship business. So every single lead that you got from mining, and you've entered them properly, if you're going to have to nurture every single one of them, no matter how surefire you think they are. No matter, oh no, this my cousin. We grew up together. I ain't gonna have to nurture them. It's gonna be a no-brainer. Most of the time, them the ones you gotta nurture the most. There has to be a nurturing component, and that's the engagement piece. The whole engagement piece is to stay top of mind long enough until they get interest. That's the engagement piece. So you can do that with consistent phone calls. You can do that with text messages, put them on a drip campaign, engaging with them on social media, inviting them to events, it's a multitude of ways that you can engage people, right? This is the phase where, we have the strategy that we coach called ABC follow-up, where we rank a lead. If it's a B lead, we engage them twice a month. If it's a C lead, we engage them once a month. They're an A lead if we don't know what rank they should be. And with A leads, we call them every day. We don't leave a message. We call them every day until we get them on the phone. So then we can ask them, hey, are you looking to buy in the first 90 days, within 90 days, or after? Because that's how we determine if they're a B or a C. We base it off of what is their intention. Are they trying to buy within the first 90 days or 90 days or more? If they are trying to buy within 90 days, they're a B lead. We call them twice a month. We start working with them to see if they're able to do it, even though they want to do it. Are they in a position to be able to do it? All right, we determine that. And if we determine they are in a position, then we kind of move to the next phase. All right. And this is buy or sell. If their intention is to do it after 90 days, you're going to get people to say, hey, yeah, I want to buy a house, but I want to do it next year. 12 months. I want to buy a house. I want to sell my house. We don't want to do it until the summertime. All right. That's a C lead. Right. So you engage them at least once a month. So you're still engaging them. You're looking for reasons to stay top of mind, to stay in front of them. And you want to do that as long as it takes until you get to the fourth phase, which is formation. And formation is now they're interested in learning more. This isn't, I want to hire you. That's not this phase. This phase is, I want to learn more. Okay. So you've engaged them. You've stayed with them, top of mind. You've been consistent. You're building the relationship. You're nurturing them. And now they're like, let's really talk about this thing. Right. Let's consider it. Show me more. Tell me more about what we can do. That's the formation phase. That's the phase where we go and do a consultation. We get belly to belly, face to face. And now that we've spent all this time building rapport and engaging, here's the bright lights now for us to show them the value. See, we don't sell costs. Like, we don't go in there saying we'll be the cheapest. Hey, pick me as your agent because I'll only charge you 1%. We don't do that. We don't sell that, because when you start doing that, you become a commodity, right? No different than coffee. You don't never want to be considered solely based on price. And guess what? When you first walk in there, most of the time, your client, that's the first thing that they're going to want to do is compare you as it relates to cost and price. So, but you as a real estate professional, you have to show them the value of what they're getting. We compete based off value. The formation phase is where you do that, where you present and compete based off value. And the only way to do that is with a consultation, whether a buyer's consultation or a listing presentation or consultation. I call them initial property consultation. Ultimately, that's a listing appointment, right? The whole goal of those appointments are to put you in a position to show your value and persuade that person to want to move forward with hiring you as their professional. That's the whole point of the formation phase. So the formation phase is they're interested in learning more. All right. They're going to buy a house. They haven't decided that they're going to use you. They want to learn more about what you provide. They're going to sell their house. They haven't made a decision that they're going to use you and want to learn more about what are the values that you bring and why they should pick you. The only way that you do that is with a consultation. Set date, set time, spend about 30 minutes to an hour going through a formalized presentation to show them it would be in their best interest to you. They will be out of their rabbit mind if they went anywhere else. This is your stage and your platform to convey that. That's the formation phase. Now, when you're successful in that phase, they become a client. How do they become a client? Well, they become a client like people become clients in every other service industry. They sign paperwork, right? When you go to an attorney, when you decide I want to hire this attorney, my man pull out a document, an engagement letter. You got to sign that thing. It lays out the terms. It's an agreement. It's tax time. A lot of us got CPAs. When you go hire a CPA and you decide you're going to be my CPA, you're going to be my bookkeeper, you got to sign a document. It's an engagement letter. We the same way, right? Now, it's too many of us that are doing work with people that are not clients because they ain't signed nothing. So you giving them information, you showing them problem. And the crazy thing is that our marketplace, the consumer, thinks that's okay. I had a lady, I went on a listing appointment and the lady was feeling some kind of way. She didn't hire me. She didn't hire me because I wouldn't give her access to my expertise. I told her, I say, look, you want to know how much your house is, like what we would put your house on the market for. You want the data. I do that for my clients. So now I'll give you a range and then I'm going to show you the value and everything that you get from hiring me. But you don't get that until you hire me because that's for clients. She felt some kind of way. She was like, well, I've worked with all these other realtors and they come with the numbers. They come with the data. I'm like, well, go get one of them because the only reason I'm even at your house is because you were so dissatisfied with the quality of agents that you personally knew. You before I even came to the house, you told me you know all of these agents, but you don't want to use any of them because the level of professionalism and their standard and how they approach the business. But the first thing you want from me is for me to decrease the commission and provide you everything without you having to pay for it. It's not going to happen. So the formation phase is designed for you to reveal those to people. Then they become a client. When they sign their paperwork, they become a client. All right. After they become a client, that's when you serve them. Right. And this is the stuff that y'all are familiar with now. This is where most people are familiar when they get in a business. They're thinking about getting into real estate. They're thinking about getting into their real estate license. These last three are the ones that people are most familiar with. A person being a client, serving them, right? Showing them properties, sending them properties in the MLS, opening doors, right? Putting the sign out, put the lockbox out, doing open houses for them, right? This is the part that I ask people like, hey, why are you getting into real estate? Like, what's attractive to you about real estate? Well, I like houses. I like showing houses. I like looking at it. Listen, real estate ain't got nothing to do with houses. That's the first big aha moment you're going to have is that this business is about people. It ain't got nothing to do with the houses. The houses, it's really a non-issue. The houses, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, like it's 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 square feet. Like it's a house. For most people, it's not the house. It's what the house means. It's the meaning of the house. It's how the house impacts their quality of life. It's how this transaction, either buying or selling, what's it going to do for the quality of house, right? Listen, we don't sell homes. We sell happy lives. That's what we sell. People do these things because they're pursuing happiness. So buying this house is going to enhance their level of happiness. Selling this house, freeing them up, transition to something else, investing in the real estate, buying this real estate, this commercial property, purchasing this land, that's impacting their happiness level. That's what we sell, happy lives, not just homes. But that's where most people are familiar with what we do, service and the transaction part. That's when you get it under contract, go through the process. You're dealing with the title company. You're dealing with the inspector. You're dealing with the, this is the thing. It's funny, like you talk to some clients and they bought a house, or maybe they bought a couple of houses and they feel like they're experts in the process. I literally just had this conversation with a guy last Thursday, and he was like, yeah, I bought so many houses. I was like, okay, when's the last time you did it? My man was like, what, 4 years ago? And I asked him, I said, man, you feel like it's the same circumstances 3 years ago from today? He was like, well, absolutely not. Exactly. Right? It don't matter how many houses. You ain't sold 1,000. I sold over 1,000. You ain't did that. So, but you get that. You get that in the marketplace. Like you get that level of confidence from customers because they just sold 1 or 2 houses. Like, okay, that's not enough. But that's why people feel like that, because they've gone through the process. They've done the transaction. They got it under contract and they went all the way to closing. So now they know what they're doing. Nah, bro. It's so much more to it that probably didn't apply to you at that time, but will probably apply to you now because it's different circumstances and different situations. Well, we're the real estate professionals, so they rely on us to be able to convey that information. So that's what we got to do. So these are the 7 phases, right? Now, we talked about open houses. I mentioned open houses. I told you, open houses goes in phase 1. Most of you all probably thought open houses went in phase 6. Open houses don't go in phase 6. Okay. The open house, in the eyes of the consumer, yes, they do see it as a level of service. But the reality is the number one place that people buy houses, HAR.com. Number 1. And that's only in Houston. If you was in any other city, major metroplex, it'd be Zillow or Homes.com or Realtor. What am I saying? Online. That's where people buy houses, where they can see the pictures and the description and all of that, right? The number 2 is the sign in the yard. That's what the second most place of how people are buying houses or how houses get sold is from the sign in the yard. Here's the funny thing. When I'm talking to customers, well, I'm looking for an agent that's really going to work it, not somebody that's just going to put it on the MLS and drop a sign in the yard. But them the top 2 places. This is crazy. Like when you hear people say it out of their mouth, because what? They want you busy. They just want you busy. They don't want you effective. They want you busy, right? So in addition to putting it on the MLS and putting a sign in the yard, you still need to just be active, moving. So maybe they feel better when you sell a house, they paying you. But look, we don't get paid until we perform anyway. Like that's crazy to me. That, right? If I sell it, that's what you hired me for, to sell it. I'm entitled to my money because I did it. I gave you the result. But so many of our consumers are employees, so that's what they're used to. Time. Spending all your time. You ain't spending enough time to earn these thousands of dollars. But I got the result handled, taken care of. I'm entitled to my compensation, right? Because I'm an entrepreneur. And that's what it's about. So these are just, I know what you guys are getting. Like I've been doing it for 20 years. So I know what kind of I know what people are telling you. Like I know what your clients, I know what the objections that you're dealing with. I know the feedback that you're getting. I get it. Right. And I want you to understand it's because it's an employee talking to an entrepreneur and vice versa. 2 completely different mindsets. So now as an entrepreneur, you got to see the gap in that. And that's where your knowledge currency and your creative idea currency really has to come into play, because you got to know how to navigate that situation. Y'all aren't speaking the same language, but for you to get paid, for you to close transactions, for you to put food on your table, you got to learn how to navigate with and speak the language that they're trying to throw at you. You got to learn how to do it. Stay with Brooks and Davis, group coaching, one-on-one coaching. Brooks and Davis signature team, daily coaching. We'll get you there, right? But this right here just gives you an understanding of the bulk of what's happening when it comes to in the real estate business. Ain't got nothing to do with real estate. It's people, right? And your ability and your skill of working with people, right? And those that make a lot of money in real estate are those that are the best at working with people. They've cracked that code when it comes to working with people. And the ones that are having the hardest time with it are the ones that haven't forgone to the reality that it's all about the people. It's only about the people. Okay. And you got to get versed in that. All right. So the open house is not in the service piece. The open house is in the mining piece. The point of the open house is to attract leads. All right. What's the point of the open house? To attract leads. What'd you say?
To attract leads.
Yeah, attract leads. And I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over again because I want you to get it. It's to attract leads. I literally had to have that conversation today with someone that I know we had it over and over and over again. And they asked the question, should we market the open house the week of, or should we begin marketing it when we first find out about it, like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time? Well, if the point is to attract leads, what's the answer? And they gave me the right answer as soon as you find out. So if you keep that in the forefront of your mind and you let that drive everything, the answer is easy. You want to put yourself in a position to attract as many leads as possible. All right. So now we're going to transition into how do you do that? How do you take an open house, position yourself to attract as many leads as possible? All right. All right. Everybody good? Y'all still tracking with me? Let me hear you. Is this good? Y'all talk back to me. Give me some feedback.
We're good.
You good, Margaret?
Yes.
Good. That's good. Deshae, you still there with me?
I'm here. It's good. I'm taking it all down.
Taking it down. Taking notes. Delora, you good? You good, Delora? All right. So let me show you all something that we have at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. And we can give you access to it. So like we're finna move to kind of like the next pivot where we're going to talk about marketing and open houses. But I want to show you something first. So as I always say, I've been in this for 20 years, and in my 20 years of being in real estate, you can imagine I probably compiled a lot of resources, a lot of tools, a lot of relationships that I've compiled over all of these years. So in doing that, very long time ago, I was like, you know what, man, I probably need to start creating like a library or putting this stuff in place, so we can revisit it to make you stronger, right? To become resourceful. So I started working on, at first it was in person, but then I started digitizing everything and then began to create a toolkit. So the company has a toolkit. I call it the BDREF Agent Member Resource Toolkit. That's what this is. That's what you all are looking at on the screen. I've actually shown this before, right? And as a Brooks and everything that I do, most of what I do, I pull from this toolkit, right? The Agent Member Toolkit, let me see. Yeah, I've shared it with a number of people. This Agent Member Toolkit has all kind of stuff in it. And a lot of these things are things that you can utilize when it comes to enhancing, yes, your knowledge currency, but more your creativity currency, right? So what I'm saying is that you don't even have to come up with the ideas. We didn't came up with the ideas already. And not only do we have the ideas that you can employ and implement, we also have the
points of execution, the resources that you can tap into to begin to utilize in your business to be a better real estate professional, to put yourself in a position you're more equipped to close more transactions. Remember, I got to get you to 10, and I'm committed to do whatever it takes as your broker, CEO of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. I am committed. I commit today to do whatever it takes to get you to 10 transactions. As long as you're committed to it, I'm going to do my part. All right. So I first wanted to start off by showing you the toolkit. So there's a lot of tools that we have access to that we can share with you that can help you grow your business. Okay. And a lot of times during these brokers' words, I reference and I refer back to the toolkit. All right. So inside of the toolkit, there's a folder that says Agent Member Resources. When you click on that folder, inside of that folder is this folder, How to Market Your Listing and Open House on Steroids. How many of us know what steroids are? What do steroids do? It's a performance what? Enhancer. So ultimately what this is saying is, how do you market your listings and open house? How do you enhance it? Right? Why is that important? Why is marketing your listing like enhancing how you market your listings and how you market open houses? Why is that important? Someone tell me. Because you want to what? Attract leads. I knew that's what y'all was going to say. I knew it. All right. So inside of this folder, there's a couple of great things. And like I said, if you're interested in getting access to this folder, the How to Market Your Real Estate Listings and Open House on Steroids, drop your email address in the chat. Shay gonna get that info, and then we're gonna get you shared to this folder. So then you'll have access to all this stuff that I'm talking about right here. Okay. All right. So one of the things that I want to talk about first, and I think you should start here, there's actually a video training that was done by a young lady out of Las Vegas. She's a coach with Workman Success Solutions. The video's in here. She spent about 2 hours. I got access to this training through my relationships with the Texas Realtors Leadership Program. They set it all up. I got the video, got the password. You can watch the video. And when you look at the video, what I did was I had my team look at the video and put together a list of recommended action items. So you can kind of look at, while you're going through the video and see, these are the things that the young lady talks about. She even gives examples of marketing material. We'll click on that link too. All that's in the folder. So she talks about setting goals, choosing the property, pre-open house stuff, items. So all of that is in place. So what I would do is I would watch the video, have the recommended activities from the video with you, incorporate that into your note-taking process, situation, whatever, right? And then you can also look at the marketing materials that she talks about. The example of the marketing materials, which is going to take you back here because the marketing materials on here. So like, here's an example of one of her marketing materials when she does open houses. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can borrow other people's ideas, stuff, put your name on it. You print it out, you take it, you go and talk to people about it. All right. So now this kind of talks about this is Denise Klein. She's the one that did the presentation. And look what she did. Again, she talks about, getting started. So this kind of goes along with, although we did our own list based off the video, this also is a companion document that you could use when looking at the video. All right. So she talks about being intentional, leveraging the listing opportunity, right? Find a buyer. But look right here, she said farming to generate 1.5 transactions from every listing. So ultimately she's saying you want to take your listing, every single listing that you get, the goal is for you to generate another 1.5 transactions.
So every listing that you get should turn into 2.5 transactions. You sell the one you got, and then you generate another 1.5 transaction. Now, if you're not intentional with your approach and you're not approaching it that way, you're not approaching it with that level of intent, you're approaching it with the employee mindset about how much time and just investing your time and just doing stuff to say that you're active, or you're just doing stuff to have something to say to your customer, you're just looking busy. If that's all you're doing, then you're not going to generate 1.5 transactions, right? You have to be intentional with how you invest your time, okay? You got to be smart. You got to have access to the knowledge and the skill set around it. So she talks about that. She talks about neighborhood talking points. When you're walking the neighborhood, here are some talking points that you can use to start a conversation. Because I get it. Listen, I'm one of y'all. So I know you're nervous to go talk to strangers. I know you are. I know you're apprehensive about it. I know it don't make you feel good. I know you're not super excited about talking to random people. So, she gives you some talking points to make the experience less excruciating. Okay, here it is right here. Here's some places to start. You don't have to come up with the stuff yourself. She also talks about when you watch the video, you'll be able to go into businesses and tell them about your property for sale. Tell them about the open house that you're doing. You're going into businesses. Remember, the point of the open house, generate leads. What you want to do is limitless opportunity. You want to tell the world, you want to talk to as many people as you want about it, because you don't know who's considering buying or selling, or who knows somebody that's considering and buying and selling. And all you're doing is you're using your open house or you're using your listing to initiate that conversation with the chance that they may know somebody or they're doing it. And guess what, people? Like I said before, it's a simple formula. Not only is it a simple formula, it works. It's proven for ages. This is how real estate professionals have been growing their business. Talking as having something to that people can give them a reason to make them aware of the fact of their intent, that they're in the market, right? I've been doing it for ages. It's proven, okay? So none of this is new. I didn't come up with this. It's a simple formula. It's not easy to do. Why? Because we're people. You're a person, they're a person. It involves people. So it's not an easy thing, right? Nothing against people. I'm a person. But that's why it's not easy, because we're people, right? But it's a simple formula, right? And then here's some additional talking points when talking a bit. Even the school, she tell you to go to the school. Right? Give you some talking points. We're going to the school. She go to the churches in the
Quick
area.
question. Where is this found again?
You got to put your email address in the chat, and we're gonna capture it. And we're gonna share it with you.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so those are the talking points. All right. I think she also gave an example of her flyer that she uses. This is I guess a listing flyer that she sends out. This is really kind of like a template. So when she's doing, and like I said, when you watch the video, it makes more sense. That was her business card. All right, that's the video. All right. So another video that's in here that you should watch, and you all may recognize some of the people that's on this video. I actually did a session where I was talking with the team, Brooks and Davis Signature. We were preparing for an open house, and I had the inspiration of, we really finna jump in and dig into this thing, right? So I spent about close to 15 minutes just laying it all out. Some good game. That's some good game right there, y'all. All right. That video is also in the folder of me really talking about and digging deep into successfully executing an open house. All right. So you got access to that video. Preparing for an open house. That's in there too. I tell you, we're gonna give you what you need.
We got an example open house flyer. So when Brooks and Davis Signature does open houses, this is how our flyers look, right? It's nice, and on all of our flyers, we put the price. Because remember, the point, and I tell him, you'll probably hear me say this on the video. I don't care if anybody comes to the open house. I don't care if nobody show up. It don't matter to me. I don't even ask, did anybody show up to the open house? What I ask is, how many leads did you generate? When it's all said and done, you didn't plan and executed this thing over 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 days. I don't care. When it's done, right? It's Monday because you didn't did it on Saturday and Sunday, or just Saturday, or just Sunday, or whenever you did it. It's Monday. How many leads did you get? I do not care how many people came. How many leads did you generate? Because that's what open house is about. This is the flyer. Got the time of the open house. That's good. What's better is got the property address. It's got information about the property. It's got the price, right? We want to get him a reason, beds, baths, garages. We want to get him a reason. And look, right here, it's got a QR code for them to register. Why do we want them to register? Because we want the lead. That's why. We want to capture their contact information. Once I capture your contact information, I do not care if you come to the house. I don't care. Because guess what? Now, if it's my listing, yeah, I don't care if I want agents to come. I want buyers that are represented by agents to come because I'm trying to sell the house. I do want that. But if I'm hosting an open house with somebody else, an agent bringing their client to the open house does me absolutely no good. I do not care. I do not want that. That is not important. A person coming in and they sign an employment agreement with another agent does not do me any good. That is not a positive thing or a positive result from me doing an open house. Having a number of people come in and all of them are represented by other realtors, and this is not my listing. That is not helpful to me, right? Or to you, if that's what you're doing. So don't get caught up, like don't get fooled. That's fool's gold, is what that is. Okay? Got to keep the main thing the main thing. So that gives you an example of flyer. All right, that's the video. Here's our pre-marketing. So what we've done is you get access to this too. So this is the actual Brooks and Davis Signature pre-marketing for open houses plan, right? So we give recommendations. Again, you got an example of the flyer. First thing you got to do is create the flyer. You can't even initiate the pre-marketing plan without a flyer. So you got to create your flyer first. Once you create your flyer, then you can do the rest of the stuff. Now look what you notice. This is a completely different property, but the flyer looks exactly the same. It's because it's a template. Get you a template. Make it easy to copy. So now you can crank these open houses out. It ain't gonna take you no time to replace the date, replace the description, replace the address, replace the pictures, replace that information right there, replace the price, and that's it. Everything else stay the same. QR code the same, contact name the same, phone number, email the same, open house at the top the same, all the pictures in the same position. We're just changing the information out. Create your template. All right. So create the flyer first. Then you got to do some things. Brooks and Davis, we coach top 50. So you want to email or text your top 50 about your open house. You're looking for a reason to engage your top 50. You want to engage them as much as possible, at least once a month in a meaningful way. But if you can get away with engaging them 2 or 3 times a month, you want to do it, right? We subscribe to the philosophy that if you engage these 50 people in at least once a month in a meaningful way, it'll turn into 86 transactions. We believe that. That's a pillar of business for everybody. Okay. So here's an opportunity. Email or text them about the open house. Email or text the people on your lead tracker, right? Maybe talk about that entry point. You want to get all your leads on your lead tracker. So you got a list of people that you're either engaging twice a month or once a month. Well, here's an opportunity to engage them, whether they're a B or C lead.
Send them information about the open house. So when you go from 5 people to 10 people to 100 people to 250 people on your lead tracker that you're engaging at any given time, it's a great database for you to send information about your open house, number one. And number two, give them a reason to re-engage you and say, I'm ready. Let's move to the formation phase. Email it. Knock on doors. With or without the flyer. It doesn't matter. Denise, she gave you some talking points when knocking on doors. You know, when we talk about daily success habits and we talk about the points that you get a point for every door that you knock on. Knocking on doors, I say this. If you ain't gonna knock on doors, there ain't no point in you doing open house. Go do something else. If you ain't gonna knock on doors, you want to knock on the doors because that puts you in a position to possibly pick up another listing. If a listing is getting me 1.5 transactions additional, then every new listing I'm able to pick up, that's the opportunity to pick up another two and a half transactions. It's a no-brainer. Well, knocking on doors is how you put yourself in a position to do that. You go knock on these doors, you get their information, you begin to engage and nurture them. You start the whole process. Put yourself in a position, and I'm not saying, oh, you're going to get a new listing the day that you knock on the door. I'm not saying that. I'm saying because you knocked on the door, you gauged their level of interest, you was able to capture their contact information. If you nurtured them for the next 6 months, and when they was ready, you went, you explained your value, they agreed, they signed, you got a new listing, right? I'm not saying tomorrow. You put them into your process and your program, you set up your future income, right? So some of these, now for Brooks and Davis Signature, we got staff that executes a lot of these things. But here's the thing, post on your social media. You're always looking for content, things to post on your social media, all right? So BDREF, LinkedIn, Michael G. Davis, that's mine. That's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. Oh my God, Facebook Marketplace is so amazing. Okay, you should put all your houses, everything you got, put it on Facebook Marketplace because it is giving leads, baby. I promise you it is. All right, we post to Mr. Brooks's Instagram. All right, and then the signature team, they're encouraged. Post it on your personal Instagram. So this is all Brooks and Davis stuff. Post it on your social media. So post it on social media, all right? Constant contact email. This is a massive database that we've compiled over the 17 years, and we've been doing this. So we got, I think, about 6,000 people on this database, constant contact. We send them stuff out all the time, okay? And it is segmented. You should be building you an email serve still. I know a lot of people are like, well, email serves don't work. Yeah, they do. Keep doing them, right? As many places or in many areas that you can go to as it relates to putting yourself in a position to attract business, pick up leads, you want to do it. So get your email serve, send this stuff out. All right, email/text to people on the Brooks and Davis lead tracker, right? For y'all that you may or may not know, we give leads. We have a lead tracker, company lead tracker. Well, for the people that you're engaging on that lead tracker, now here's an opportunity where you can engage them. It gives you a reason to engage them some more. And then create a Facebook event, create an Eventbrite. Okay. And then I have a powerful professionals relationship spreadsheet. That's my Rolodex. Everybody should get a Rolodex. Why? Because time is your number one valuable currency. The number two valuable currency is relationships. So you want to have a powerful Rolodex. Just ask Henry Ford. Henry Ford would rant and rave on how profound his Rolodex was, right? He said it. You can Google this. He said what contributed to the level of success, financial success he was able to achieve was the intention that he put into his Rolodex and nurturing the people and the relationships that was there because it's a powerful currency. So you're doing open houses, you're being intentional about your relationships and your Rolodex. You want to send this to your people in the Rolodex, right? And then Brooks and Davis Wise Agent, that's our CRM. So we utilize the CRM and it talks about who we send it to. That exclusive in-house inventory, you know what that is? That's a list of prospective sellers that we're engaging. Like these are what I'm showing you
emailing it to the Brooks and Davis Wise agent, emailing it the flyer to the Power Professionals, emailing it to the Brooks and Davis lead tracker, emailing it or texting it to your top 50. That's all engagement. That's the engage phase, right? When we send out information in our CRM, that's the engage phase. That's what it looks like to engage and be in that phase with people. And you want as many people in that phase as possible. You want as many people in the formation phase as possible. That's how you get to the client phase, right? So that's our plan. You know, what you also have access to in this folder is like a checklist, a punch list. I'm telling you, man, we got everything. I got everything that you need. You ain't got to come up with nothing new. I got your punch list that you can utilize. And it talks about what to do when you're initiating the open house, what to do the week of the open house, what you need to do if you got to postpone or cancel the open house. All of these elements are in here. So this is a great tool that you can use to create your checklist to make it a system, right? A system. I talked about Henry Ford before, right? Henry Ford didn't make his money because he created the automobile. He did not create the automobile, right? What he did was he created a system. And that system, the assembly line, as it related to the automobile, is what made him rich, right? So he created a system. You got to create a system, okay? This helps with creating a system. It's like McDonald's. The expectation is always the same. That's the beauty of McDonald's. That's what made it so scalable. It is because it doesn't matter where you are, what McDonald's you went to, are the fries gonna be over here, the drinks gonna be over there, it's gonna have a playground, this is gonna be the food, it's the same taste. It's the consistency, it's the system, the McDonald's system is what's made it. Listen, Ray Kroc, he didn't even found McDonald's. Like he didn't do that. What? The McDonald brothers were already in existence. They already had restaurants. They were already doing this stuff. All Ray Kroc did was create a system. And he created the system, bought them out, and then he mass produced McDonald's. So he was not the founder of McDonald's. He just created a system. This helps with the system. Create your system. All right. Man, I think I gave y'all a lot. So look, if you want this stuff, make sure you put your email address in the chat. Shay's gonna get that. We're gonna share with you. Why am I hearing myself? Who unmuted themselves?
Oh, I unmuted myself. I'll mute back.
Okay. Margaret was making me hear myself. Hey, Delora. All right. So you got to get access to it. All right. Any questions before we pivot to the next phase of things? Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? Can y'all see yourselves employing and using this stuff?
Yes.
Yes. I hope so. All right. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what's coming up in February. So, like I said before, February, the theme for February is we're going to be doing open house, talking about open houses, mastering open houses. So that's, we're going to have people come in and do sessions that are kind of built around that. We're going to have some of our partners come in with lunch presentations that can kind of speak to you and give you tools and resources that you can use when executing your open houses. All right. So this is the month for that. All right. I just did the broker's word. Right? Tomorrow we have our lunch with First American Home Warranty. It's going to be here at the corporate office, I think. Yeah. Corporate office? I believe it's at the corporate office. All right. It's going to be here at the corporate office. Come and get you something to eat, as well as listen to our guests for the day. And again, when you all are participating with these lunch presentations, I want you all to be listening for how can I use this tool in my business?
How can I use this resource to help me mine, right? The mining phase to attract more business. How can I use this tool? Or maybe it's a tool that could better make me more efficient when it comes to the entry phase. Maybe that's a tool that I could use there. Maybe it's a tool that I could use that I can give me a reason to engage the people that are in my engage phase or in my formation phase. Maybe it's a tool or a resource that I can use this for, right? Or maybe it's something that I can use to make me more valuable. So people want to do the formation. So when I go and have these presentations, puts me in a stronger position to get hired, people become a client. And maybe it's a tool where I can serve my clients better. Maybe it's a tool that makes my transactions smoother and easier. So once the transaction is done, I come out looking like a rock star. That's when we're having these lunch presentations and we're building these relationships and we're bringing people in. It ain't about the food. Bring the food, because yeah, I want to eat too. Bring the food, but it ain't about the food. It's about how can I use and apply this in my business. Okay, we are doing our hands-on training, our masterclass, our mentor masterclass is this Saturday. So that's on here. Oh, there it is right there. Our growth and guidance mentee masterclass is Saturday, but we are doing a mentor training session tomorrow as well. Ms. Jackie is facilitating that. So if you're interested in becoming a mentor, we need you at the session because we need more mentors because we're growing, right? We're on a path of growth at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. So we need you to participate. All right, Monday Night Live. Remember, we have our Monday Night Live, our Real to Life podcast, our Real to Life happy hours. We have that. Every other Tuesday and Thursday, we're pushing new content. And Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, BND TV. We also have Lunch with Prosperity Bank. We have our new member orientation. So this month, new member orientation is the 2nd and the 4th. Okay. Now, I'm going to give y'all a little heads up for you all that had intended on participating in group coaching today. I'm going to be doing new member orientation, doing group coaching. So that's going to be our session for today at 2 o'clock. All right. Because we were previously all of last year was the 1st and 3rd. So we got into that routine, but because we shifted BND TV and our new production, we neglected to shift our new member orientation or getting the word out that it has shifted. So, hey, today's the first Wednesday. I'm going to do it. Okay. But after today, it'll be the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of the month. All right. We got group coaching. We talked about that. That's a part. And then we go back into our BND TV. And then we close things out with our new member orientation. All right. So that's what we got coming down the pipeline for February. Here's the calendar. The calendar is also in the group me. We've emailed it out. Save the dates. Put them on your calendars. Listen, if you are going to be the best real estate professional that you can be, then you have got to enhance your knowledge currency, enhance your creative currency, right? Utilize the resources, become more resourceful. Like all of these things contribute into you increasing your value, right? But the only way that you can put yourself in a position for that to happen, you got to show up. You got to participate. You got to engage. The one thing that I can say about Brooks and Davis is we got a bunch of stuff, and because we're true to that, we're serious about that. We're serious about putting y'all in a position, and y'all have the resources and the tools and the skills to perform at a high level in this business. Right? But you got to show up. You got to participate. We make it very convenient. Everything we do is either in person or it's simulcast. It's in person and online. And we record them and put them on the YouTube channel. Like we make it so easy. Okay. But you gotta do it. You just gotta do it. That's it. You just gotta do it. All right. Oh, I overlooked the pre-home buyer session. So we're doing a pre-home buyer session on the 15th as well. Okay. All right. Finally, as I wrap things up, let's talk about some of the great benefits that, or let me remind you all of some of the great benefits that you have access to as a member of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. Figure out where my thing is. Uh, all right. So let's talk about some of these benefits, right? All right. So some of you all have already heard this story, but for those that have not, I'm going to reiterate it. Last year, or maybe the year before last, we did a survey, company-wide survey. We interviewed our top performing agents because I was curious, right? So curiosity feeds growth, breeds growth. I was curious. So to know if in my head, what I felt like was the benefit of being with Brooks and Davis, if it lined up with the people that were actually here, right? So we posed a survey. Some of the questions we asked were, why did you join? Why did you stay? Why have you not left? You know, what do you like about Brooks and Davis? So from that survey, when we began to compile the data, we came up with 8 core benefits. And these are the benefits, right? So now, total transparency, before we did the survey, I thought coaching was going to be the clear winner. I was just like, man, I know we are excelling at that level when it comes to coaching. That is going to be the one that blows everybody out of the water. I was sadly mistaken that it was not coaching. It was education. So as I said before, the extensive amount of things that you saw on that February calendar, that's the reason, that's the biggest benefit that people find with being a part of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. It's the amount of classes, learning opportunities, engaging workshops that we throw out on a monthly basis, weekly basis, right? You have access to all of that. Like I said, in person, virtual, recorded. You got access to all of that education, all of that information, all right, for being a part of Brooks and Davis. Take advantage, okay? Another thing that came out of there was our environment. Like, people really liked the team environment, the environment that we're intentional about putting in place for our brokerage firm, right? The family environment, right? Being family oriented, treat and respect one another like family, which is one of our non-core values. We're intentional about it. We want you to feel welcome. Like, we want you to feel a part. Like, we want you to feel that we are here and we're serious about your success. We're intentional about our environment. And the good thing about the survey was that, you know, that's the experience and the feel that people were getting. Okay. The accessibility, right? The accessibility is a big deal, you know, unparalleled experience, accessibility, collaboration. We're a real estate community. You get access to the CEO, you get access to business coach, you get access to the broker. Like, you as Brooks and Davis, you get access to the CEO of the company, the broker of record of the company, and a business coach. All of y'all got my phone number. I got y'all's phone number. Y'all can call me, and I know y'all not shy about it because y'all be calling me, and I'll be answering. Right? That's the level of accessibility. How many brokerage firms do y'all honestly think? And, you know, for us, we closed the month out at 73 agents, licensed agents. That's what we had, right? So we're not a huge brokerage firm, but we're definitely not a small brokerage firm. But how many, even at that size, where the agents can access the CEO, the broker of record, business coach, how many have that level of accessibility? And then you can also access the leadership team.
right? You can access the staff like that accessibility has been something that has been we've been very intentional about. Leads, we give leads. We give leads. People say you give leads. Yes, we give leads. People come into this business and they feel like leads is the silver bullet. Okay, we give them. But guess what? It ain't the silver bullet. I just showed you 7 phases to get to a closed transaction. Where did leads show up? In the first phase. It's the first phase. Me giving you leads, the only thing it does is gets you to second base. You just got to skip the first phase. But you still got to go through the other 6 phases if you're going to get paid off the lead. Leads are not the silver bullet, okay? But we give leads. We have our weekly lead distribution session that we do every Thursday at 5:30 because of the events that we do. Our real estate summit, community bus tour, community tours, right? The signs that's in the yard from the marketing that Brooks and Davis signature puts out there. Our pre-home buyer session. We got a multitude of avenues where the brokerage firm generates leads. Our relationship with the Houston Black Real Estate Association. We get leads. Well, we put those leads on our company lead tracker. As a Brooks and Davis agent, you get access to those leads. So one caveat, you got to show up on Thursdays. You got to participate in the coaching. You got to let me coach you up. You got to let me talk you through, right? The entry phase and the engage phase and the formation phase when it comes to these leads, and the client phase and the service phase. You got to let me talk you through it. See, for the most of the agents are pretty good when it comes to the service and the transaction phase. The challenge is getting there. Most agents can't get there. They can't go from lead to service. They can't get there. So we meet on Thursdays at 5:30 to help you with that. So you got to show up so we can show you what to do with the leads. All right. Black excellence in real estate. Something that we're proud of. It's one of our benefits because when we surveyed our agents, our top performing agents, they saw it as a benefit. They find pride in being a part of a black-owned independent real estate brokerage firm operating at a high level. They find pride in it. They find pride in the type of agents that we attract and how we develop the agents and the professionalism and the way that we execute on things. People see that as valuable. They enjoy that. So we want you to become of it. But guess what? Yeah, Black excellence in real estate is a big thing as it relates to the Brooks and Davis brand. But from a mindset standpoint, and this is coming all the way from the top as a CEO, our goal is not to just be stuck. And I don't want to say stuck, but just to stay in the Black community. We want to be able to impact as many communities as possible. A part of our mission, for many of you that know this, our mission is that we want to successfully satisfy 1 million real estate needs. For us to successfully satisfy 1 million real estate needs, we can't just do that in the Black community. We got to diversify. So we want to touch the Latino community and the Asian community and the LGBT plus community. Like we want to be the real estate company that impacts everybody because we got a big number that we shoot for, 1 million. We want to be the #1 real estate company in production and profitability in the state. That company did 34,000 transactions in a year. You can't do 34,000 transactions in 1 year and all you is in one community. So I don't want you to feel like the pride that we find when it comes to Black excellence in real estate is us also saying this is where we're staying as it relates to what our aspirations are. It isn't, okay? But we do find pride in it. All right, community involvement. You know, I definitely encourage you, if you haven't already, become a member of the Houston Black Real Estate Association. If any year you was ever gonna do it, this the year. Why is this the year? If any year you was ever gonna do it, it's because your broker is the president of the Houston Black Real Estate Association, right? You got an inside man with the Houston Black Real Estate Association and the benefits that come from being a part of the Houston Black Real Estate Association. And trust me, there are some major benefits that come from being a part of the Houston Black Real Estate Association.
So in addition to you receiving those benefits, it also gives you an outlet where you can give back to the community. Social responsibility, that's good. Social sustainability, that's a big deal. You should do these types of things. Right? There's an economic component that can come from you being effective in social responsibility and community involvement. So it was good to see that our agents found value in that. Another thing that you should get involved in is the Houston Association of Realtors. Why is that? Because the Houston Association of Realtors not only represents over close to 60,000 members, right? And what that means is, with an organization at large, it got some pretty good pull in the city, politically, legally, relationship-wise, in the business community. HAR got some pull, so you want to be tapped into that. So by you getting involved and doing volunteer work with the different advisory groups, this is another good time to be a part of the Houston Association of Realtors. Why? Because your broker is the co-chair of governmental affairs, right? I'm in a leadership position with the Houston Association of Realtors. I'm HAR's appointee to the Texas Realtors Board of Directors. I'm HAR's appointee to the National Association of the National Association of Realtors. So your broker is the inside man. This is the year that you need to get involved in these organizations. So I can help guide you and navigate you and connect you to where you can take full advantage of your involvement. This is the year. So community involvement, that's a big deal. All right, and then finally, group coaching, one-on-one coaching. All right. They definitely found that as a benefit. It is a true benefit. I would actually also throw our mentor program into the mix when it came to that as well. The reality is this: you're going to get support, right? You know how agents, they get in the real estate business and they go join other brokerage firms and they don't get the results they're looking for. Well, I can honestly say here at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, we have a tailored service experience for our agent members, and we back it up with 2 money-back guarantees. We don't sell homes, we sell happy lives. And what helps us to do that, what helps us make you a better real estate professional, is through our offerings when it comes to one-on-one coaching for our developmental agents. If you join Brooks and Davis Signature, you get daily coaching. Every day, my team gets coached. And yes, we are looking for people to join Brooks and Davis Signature. I at least want to add 3 more people to Brooks and Davis Signature. We coach every day, all right, by me, yours truly. And then we got group coaching. That's open to everybody. I don't care what kind of agent you are. Everybody can participate in group coaching. And we do a whole week of it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Group coaching, at least an hour during the group coaching week. We're serious about it. We're going to keep doing it. So those are the benefits that I want to make sure that you capitalize on as you continue your relationship with Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. All right, with that being said, I am done for today. What questions do we have? What comments? What concerns, if any, do we have today? Are we good? Everybody solid?
We're good.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right, good deal. Well, go out there and make it happen, Shay. All right, so we got the emails. All right, so everybody that put their email in here, Shay is going to share that folder. Can you find that folder? Shay is going to share that folder with you. And take advantage. That's some power. All right, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you this, but don't go in there deleting nothing. Do not delete nothing in my folder. Do not have me come looking for you. Oh, it's gonna be view only. So Shay said you ain't gonna be able to. Yeah, thank you. Protect our stuff, Shay. Protect our stuff. All right, family. Well, look, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow we got another event. Come on, take advantage of it. If you need me, I'm easy to find. And like I said, we got group coaching happening at 2, so you're more than welcome to participate there. That's it. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
All right, I can end it. Don't end it. All right, I'm not gonna end it. I'm gonna let Shay end it. All right. Let's go. Pop quiz, Taser. Give me one thing that you learned. What's the most powerful thing that you learned from the Broken Words?